Well, thank you for joining us. This is an exciting moment for Xsigo Systems. If you think back a year ago when we were at the show, we had the highest performing virtual I/O platform on the planet. And we had deployed that platform in the VMware booth. We're the only connectivity device inside the VMware booth. So if you wanted to see how virtual I/O best worked in a virtual world, you went to the VMware booth and we're the only connectivity device there. Well, a lot has changed in a year. A year later, this year, following the theme of the cloud, we are integral in the solution that VMware is deploying for cloud. So from the booth to the cloud in a year, that's not enough for us at Xsigo though. We are also on the VMware Express. There's an 18-wheeler parked on the show floor, and with our good partners Dell, we're in one rack, and we're in another rack, another VMware rack in this VMware Express, which is traveling all across the US. We've hit many cities. It's scheduled to go across Canada and the US, 1,500 of the top customers. So from just being in the booth to being in their cloud, and we're in their VMware Express bus. A lot of good progress. But someone could look at that and say that was a hell of a year. Last year, by the way, we were runner-up for Best of Show, product Best of Show, and between you and I, they robbed us. And you'll know who robbed us by the time we're done. So a year later, and that's not good enough for us. We're here today to launch a product that is a step function change. Step function change in how you design architectures for the data center, step function change in the cost to connect virtual I/O to a server, and a step function change in the number of servers that can now take advantage of virtual I/O infrastructure. So this is an exciting time for us. Thanks for joining us. We have Steve Schuckenbrock, who leads the large enterprise division of Dell, is here with us. And it's not unusual that Steve should be here. Here is a server vendor who embraced virtualization. The very first and the most aggressive embrace of virtualization. Number one reseller of VMware today, Dell. We have Ray Lane, who's on our board, gives me all the advice I need, and then some. Great board member representing Kleiner Perkins. We have John Doerr, who needs no introduction whatsoever. And we have Klaus Molt. I got that right? Yeah. Okay, Klaus Molt, Salesforce.com. So, we promise you a fight. There's going to be a fight. What we're fighting for is the next generation of the cloud. Why is this fight vital to us? Well, it's timely. The cloud is happening now. If you talk to different people, you'll get an emerging feeling here that it's going to drive business transformation innovation. Over half of the IT execs you talk to can see this emergence. They're realizing that the cloud is going to give them the next inflection point in efficiency, in cost savings, and in being able to address the needs of their customers. So we're going to ride that cloud. We're going to ride that wave that's emerging right now. If you think about 20 years ago, those of us in the switching business, if we sold your network, that's what it looked like. It was, take the servers that you have and connect them to the I/O that you need. And this map 20 years ago, you'd have 12 servers, and this might be 10 megabit, 100 megabit, but it hasn't changed much at all. That architecture doesn't scale. And the cloud environment today puts new demands on this architecture. If you keep that architecture, you're going to end up with that mess. And the sure sign of lunacy is keep doing the same thing and expect a different response. Well, keeping that 20-year-old architecture, that's where you end up. If you think back on those 12 servers that I showed you, in the old architecture, you're going to have 168 cables. It's rigid, it's expensive, traditional I/O. If you look at the Xsigo architecture, you go from 168 cables to 38 cables. You've got flexible, you have efficient. You can scale it, you can change it on the fly. In this architecture, if I come over and I say, you know what, this server now needs to be connected to a 10 gig network it wasn't connected to before. I have to take that server offline, stick a card in there, bring the customers offline, disrupt my SLAs, adversely impact my customers to make a change. The Xsigo architecture, all that happens seamlessly. You're able to add resource on the fly to any I/O that you require. No one is able to do that but us. Flexible, efficient, the Xsigo way. Make changes in minutes, not in days. And in 99% of the time, you go and talk to an IT executive, look in your data center, you look at the cascade of cables, those switch ports are 10% utilized. For 20 plus years, we've sold you more ports than you need, and we've driven utilization not up but down. Their business model is predicated on selling you more than you would ever imagine in a rational environment. I mean, which of you went to dinner last night and ordered 10 dinners? Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Cisco guy right there, right there. Cisco certified, I know it. So why would you over-provision at that pace? You don't do that with your storage today. You roll out storage, you get virtualized storage. With Dell leading the way, you roll out storage, servers, you're rolling out virtualized servers. The only piece of your cloud that's not architected to be optimized is your I/O connectivity, because it's not in the best interest of the switch vendors to do that. We're here to tell you it's a better way to do it. And you're going to hear from a customer, tell you why they did it that way, and you're going to hear from a shook why in this fist fight we're showing up with a howitzer. And we're confident that you'll realize that that is not the best way forward. What we'll announce today is a product that addresses a much more significant part of the market, and that will enable you to take the cloud to all servers, not just to high-end servers, not just to servers in complex data centers, but to all servers. And if you look at the potential market space, 30 million plus servers. Well, we think that if you use the Cisco cloud environment, the cost to deploy that is going to be somewhere around $360 billion. If you're going to take all the potential addressable servers out there, you take our initiative, you take the Xsigo initiative, it's $28 billion. Significant cost advantage and significant functionality advantage when you take a look at how we do what we do. This is important. And the battle lines are clearly drawn. It's Cisco versus Xsigo. And if you think about these guys 20 plus years ago, they were doing what we were doing. They showed up and they were fighting against IBM and SNA and DECnet from DEC, Apple with Apple Talk, and they said, you know what? Open is the right answer. But that was 20-something years ago. Now they say open is not a good thing. It has to be end-to-end Cisco, a closed environment, not very scalable, and very expensive. Xsigo says it has to be open, has to be cost-effective, has to be optimized for what the customer needs. So you can choose last century's environment and architecture or this century's architecture and environment. Pretty clear. I'm going to turn it over to Ashok Krishnamurthy.